Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing today? I am Brandon, and I am your host for the interview with Alex G here today. And we're going to be talking about the June 14th, 2014, from the backyard to the ring. And I'm going to ask him a few questions and see how it goes from there. But other than that, let me introduce you the ESW World Heavyweight Champion, the Hardcore Kid, Alex G. Alex, how you doing today?
Well, Brandon, first off, I want to thank you very, very much for taking the time to do this with me. And, I just want to thank all the fans that have been following us from the very, very beginning. You see, this is ESW going from the backyard to the ring to tomorrow, actually. Today is June the 13th. Tomorrow is June the 14th, the day of the event. So, it's really an emotional time for a lot of us. It's a stressful time for some of us. But most importantly, we are all happy and we're excited. We're looking forward to going to a different location. It's still in the home city of ours, Somerset, Texas. But we're finally going to a venue. We're setting up a ring, we're setting up a stage, we're setting up some lighting equipment, we have some awesome sound systems over there, and we're going to put on a wrestling event. So, how am I doing? I'm very busy, but I'm doing pretty alright, Brandon. And once again, I appreciate you doing this, and I appreciate everyone who is listening. So, thank you.
That's good, man. That's good to hear. Alright, so like I said, I have a few questions for you about this historic event from the backyard to the ring, and hopefully I ask you some good questions, and hopefully you give me some good answers. Alright, man? Alright, the first question is, how do you feel that ESW is going from the backyard to the ring?
Well, that's a very good question. I think it's something that we are all kind of just diving in head first on. Despite what some of the guys may say, and this may offend some of them, but I don't think any of us have really done anything professional at all. At least we haven't been trained professionally or the proper way. So there's a lot of us, including myself, until recently I should say, there's a lot of us who don't know what to expect as far as being in a ring and doing it properly. Now recently I've been going to a gym called the Wolverine All-Star Gym over here in my home town of San Antonio. I'm sorry about that. San Antonio, Texas. It's about a 30 minute drive from my home city here in Somerset. And they have a couple of wrestling rings in there. And for a very, very, very cheap price, you can go in and train for 2 hours. So I've been going in there and getting a good workout in the ring. A couple of us have been doing it. Cruise Confidence, I heard, went. I know Beaner Andrew and Old School Giddens went over there to do a couple of team moves. I heard PO3 was over there not that long ago, and Austin G even went behind my back. But point is the ring is brutal, man. Now, we've been doing this on the ground for a long time, but hitting those ropes, bumping on that ring nonstop, and preparing my body, myself from the backyard to the ring has been a brutal experience, man. I'm hurting right now talking to you. So, as far as how do I feel about doing it, I think it's a long damn time coming. I know there's been numerous comments and numerous remarks on different videos and different, pictures and all kinds of stuff that, when the fans say, hey, when are you guys going to get a ring? Well, we haven't gotten a ring, but we rented a ring. And June 14th, tomorrow, we are taking Extreme Showdown Wrestling from Somerset's backyard, and we're taking it to a professional wrestling ring. So I'm very excited. I think, again, it's a long time coming. And, we're going to be prepared for whatever happens. Again, a lot of us probably don't know what we're getting into, but I can guarantee this. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a great event, and we're all looking forward to it.
All right, that's a great answer, man. That's a great answer. All right, second question is it going to be more of a challenge that you guys will be performing in a professional wrestling ring for the first time of your guys' careers?
Yeah, man, like I said, it's a whole nother level. For example, I went earlier this week to that Wolverine All-Star Gym, and I started running ropes. And within seconds of running the ropes, my back was bruised. It's a whole nother level. And we're used to, tables, chairs, fluorescent light tubes, thumbtacks, fucking mouse traps, and cookie pans, whatever it is we do. But, now that we have a ring, I think a lot of us really want to focus on making it look the best. So, we are just going to go into these matches, and we're going to hope that we don't look like shit. Now, for the fans who are expecting great professional chain wrestling action, with the exception of that awesome tag match that we're having From the Backyard to the Ring, I wouldn't expect too much of that. But we're going to try, and we're going to do the very best that we can. It is a nervous feeling because this is our first match in a professional wrestling ring, and it's nerve-wracking, and it's challenging. However, it's going to get done because I believe that Extreme Showdown Wrestling has the very best athletes in backyard wrestling history.
Okay. What is the difference between wrestling in your backyard and someone else's arena?
Well, goddamn, that's a great question there, Brandon. Listen, unfortunately, when you're in your own backyard, and it's private property, as long as it's sane, you can pretty much do whatever you want. We didn't have very many limitations in the ESW backyard. However, we are at the American Legion Post 443. It is a veterans, it's a bar, and there's owners, and there's commanders, and there's vice presidents, and there's people who run these executives who run this bar who are calling a lot of the shots. So it's very difficult. There's a lot of rules, like I said, that we have to follow, and I'm not going to get into much detail on it, but like cursing, for instance. We can't cuss. And it's little things like that the fans need to understand that we can't go all out like we used to, unfortunately. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to see some of the craziest action you've ever seen in a ring. I'm not saying you're not going to see ESW doing their thing. However, there are limitations now. There are things we got to watch out for, and again, it's in a ring. So everything is very different now. But again, following rules is something people got to do every day, whether it's school, whether it's work, or whether it's, just walking down the street. There are rules you have to follow. So this is just a test for us. That's the way I'm looking at it. This is a test for us to see how we do in someone else's environment. Can they trust us? And hey, never say never when it comes to ESW, because technically this is our fourth final event.
Okay, man. All right. How do you feel that the ESW original Old School Giddens will be returning for this historic event?
Old School Giddens, OSG, he's one of my good friends, and I think he is more excited than most of us to get back into the Extreme Showdown Wrestling atmosphere. He's excited that now it's finally in a ring. OSG's beating himself up, so, taking bumps on the floor and doing crazy stunts, as he's done them. And he probably would do them again. However, I think he likes the part of the event how it's going to be in a ring. It's a lot safer, or so to say, and it's right up his alley. The guy is an athletic dude. I think he was a yoga instructor at one point. He does a lot of yoga, does a lot of basketball, a lot of training. So as far as people who are physically fit, he's one of the top guys. And I hate to admit this, but even Austin G is probably the fittest of us all here in Extreme Showdown Wrestling. Guys like that are going to shine. So I expect Old School Giddens to give us 100%. I know he's going to give us 100%, and he is going to put on a show like no other. And ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. The tag team match between Beaner Andrew and Old School Giddens versus Cruz Confidence and Aztec, that is kicking off from the backyard to the ring. So it's going to be a great event, and I am 100% thrilled that OSG is back in Extreme Showdown Wrestling.
Will there be any special appearances that the ESW fans would like to know about?
Well, as far as surprises, there may be an extra match or two added, or you may see someone pop up here and there and do, a backstage role or an in-ring skit or something like that. Again, never say never in ESW. However, if there is going to be any bonus material, any bonus matches, like the Battle Royal, for instance, we announced the Battle Royal. that is more than likely going to be exclusive for the people who donated to our fund. Back when we were trying to raise money for this ring, to finish our film, Guys Like Us, there were over 20 donators who helped us reach that goal of $1,000 from Indiegogo.com. So those guys, and no offense to any of the other ESW fans, we love you all, but those are the people that basically funded this event from the backyard to the ring. So they are it's kind of like a, first come, first served deal. They came first, they came, they gave us some money, they helped us out. So, they're going to be shipped the DVD first. They're going to see the event first. They're going to get some bonus material, the making of the film, behind the scenes, little things like that. But as far as the full event itself, eventually, I can't tell you when yet, but eventually it will be online. The fans will be able to see it for free eventually. We may even sell it online, for a couple of bucks. You get a passcode, you get to watch the whole thing for free anytime you want, as long as you want, as many times as you want. But you just never know. Of course, we got things planned. If that's what you wanted to hear, yes, we got some surprises planned. Clearly, there's been a lot of guys that haven't been announced in matches yet or whatnot, but you can expect some surprises, yes.
All right, Alex G, I got one last question for you, and here's the last question. What is your game plan when you defend the ESW World Heavyweight Championship in a triangle match against PL3 and Austin G, when these two men that you have known for a very long time and they've been a big part of your life?
Well, no disrespect to Giddens, MOD, Beaner Andrew, Wicked J, Jinx Master, PL3 and Austin G are founding fathers of Extreme Showdown Wrestling, along with myself. These are guys that have seen the baby form of ESW, and they have seen the adulthood of Extreme Showdown Wrestling. So they have seen it all. They have seen the beginning, they have seen the end. There is no better way to end Extreme Showdown Wrestling, if this is really it. Because, to be honest with you, man, I can't ever answer, are we going to have another event? Is this a one-time thing? I don't know. I really don't. Birthday Bash last year, I said that was it for good. And then, boom, here comes J.R. Molina, a great director, and said, hey, I got an idea for a film called Guys Like Us, and here we are doing another ESW event. So you never say never in ESW. PL3, Austin G, Alex G, there's footage of us, wrestling when we're very, 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 very young, long before the name ESW even existed. And here we are, 2014, from the backyard to the ring, main event, American Legion, at a venue, in front of people. It's an independent event. No matter how those real independent wrestlers look at it, no matter how people, in WWE and TNA look at it, this is a professional wrestling event. No matter how you put it. So, this is a big deal for me. This is a big deal for PL3, and I'm sure it's a big deal for Austin G. Now, I can't speak for them on on what their game plan is. However, my game plan is this. March 2011, I beat PL3. September 2013, I beat Austin G. Both those matches that I just mentioned were for the ESW World's Heavyweight Championship. And I walked into those matches not the champion. I walked into those matches as the challenger. So historically, it is proven that when it's a big-time match, when it's a main event match, when the title is on the line, whether I'm champion or not, I walk out the ESW World's Heavyweight Champion. My game plan has been training. I've been doing a lot of running. I've been in that ring. I've been training my ass off because come June 14th, come from the backyard to the ring, yours truly, the hardcore kid Alex G, love me or hate me, I'm walking out the champion. And again, historically, it is proven that I can beat PL3. Historically, it is proven that I can beat Austin G. Now, can I beat them both the same night at the same time? Well, I'm going to try my goddamn best, I can assure you that. And hey, I'm sure there's one of those hardcore fans listening to this right now, and they're like, hey, Alex G, back in May of 2009, there was another triple threat match between me, PL3, and Austin G. It was a ladder match for PL3's World's Heavyweight Championship. PL3 retained the title. So you just gotta look at. So historically, am I wrong? Am I wrong that I can't beat these guys? And that's the beauty of wrestling. That's the beauty of backyard wrestling. That's the beauty of professional wrestling. You just never know what may happen. But I can assure you this: I am going to do my absolute best to walk out from the backyard to the ring, still your world's heavyweight champion. I don't think Austin deserves to be the champion, and PO3, well, we have had our issues recently, and his so-called accidents, in my opinion, don't look like accidents. So, long story short, Brandon, I'm walking in champion, I'm walking out champion.
And it will be a historic match. Thank you, Alex G, for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, June 14th, 2014, ESW is going to present to you From the Backyard to the Ring. Do not miss it. It's going to be a historic event, and I can't wait to see it, and I bet each and every one of you fans can't wait to see it as well. Other than that, my name is Brandon Belanger, and I'm signing off, and we can't wait to see you guys on June 14th.